Hi everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. My name is Becky Sitcher. I hope you're doing well. So in today's video we're going to be talking about 10 ways to save money in the UK as a newcomer. It's important to listen because I wish I knew some of these things when I arrived in the UK years ago, but I didn't. So I'm going to share some of the tips to help you save money as a newcomer on arrival to UK. If you want to know more about this, why not watch the video to the end? So you're welcome back to the main video. I have a disclaimer. I am a registered nurse. I'm not a financial advisor. So the information I have here is based on my own experience, what I've learned in the UK over the years, and I wish I had known and I thought I could share with you. As we all know, cost of living has gone up and is still going up. Rent is expensive, food expensive, bills are going up, everything, and it's quite difficult to save money, but it's very important to be able to find ways of saving a little bit and put something on the side just for rainy day, just for when you really need it, because sometimes in the UK especially, it's not like when we are back home in our home countries where when you need money you can go to a friend, you can go to someone from church to lend you some money. It's quite difficult here. You ask people for money in the UK and they haven't got it in order to lend you, and at the same time people are afraid of lending money to others, especially in the UK, because they are worried that they may not even pay them back. I have that experience. Someone asked for money long time ago, almost about 3 to 4 years ago, and said, give me this amount and I'll pay you back in a few months or so. It's almost about 3 years now and the person hasn't paid me back. So because of that, even if I've got it, I'm a bit worried and scared of lending. I don't have it anyway. The little I have, I would be worried to lend it to somebody. So anyway, let's go into the main video now and go through the different ways that you can help yourself to save some money. So the first thing you should be thinking about is looking at your bank statement. These days we all have online statement. We don't have paper statement in hand, so we don't have the time to look at our statement to see what is on there. You never know, there might be something there you don't know about. So it's important for you to look at your bank statement and see, is there anything else there that shouldn't be there? And then you can budget appropriately. So that's very important. Another one, the second on my list, actually when you look at your statement and you budget, you have to keep going back and reviewing it each time. Give yourself every 3 months and review. The next point on my list is cancelling subscription. So we all come in here to UK, we've got our phone contract, you've got TV contracts, you've got different subscriptions. People have got gym membership subscriptions and things like that, and they take these monies out of your account as direct debits. So you need to look at them, your TV subscriptions and all the lot, and see, is there anything there that is coming to the end of the contract that I should be looking at. Recently, I think 18 months ago, I took a Sky TV and broadband and home telephone subscriptions, and the contract had ended, 18-month contract ended, I think November or so last year. I did not know because I don't have this paper bank statement to scrutinize, so I'm a culprit myself. So I haven't been looking. So just one day, was it in February, I looked on it and I realized, oh my God, the Sky, I was paying about £54 a month for both TV, broadband and a home phone line. And in October, I think when the contract ended in November, the first thing I saw, was it December or January, they took £89 out of my bank account because I had direct debit. So instead of 54, because the contract had ended, my monthly subscription has jumped to £89, almost getting to double. So straight away, that's one thing I was able to. So if I had not looked at my online bank statement, I wouldn't have known. The money would just have been coming out. So I decided to ring them and all that. But anyway, so these are some of the things. If you look on your statement, check all your subscriptions. There may be some subscriptions you have already taken that you're not even using. The question is it necessary? If you're not using it, cancel it, like gym membership, or review your other subscriptions and cut them down. Another one I've got on my list, the third point on the list, is that you need to save money on your insurances. So we all have like car insurance, home insurance if you're a homeowner, and all sorts of different insurances. You need to take your time, and when the time comes for the end for renewal of your insurance, you have to look around, compare all other insurance quotes out there, and then you can choose the best deal to suit you. Because when the end or the renewal time is coming for your car insurance and home insurance, you realize that these companies, they give you almost double the amount of what you're paying. I've had that happen recently. So my car insurance came and it was like I was going to be paying double, and it's the same car. I've not had an accident or anything, but the insurance had gone up. When I called them, I was told, oh, everything is going up. So I have to shop around, go on comparethemarket.com and all these money saving comparative website, so you can check and see what is out there. You might save yourself £100 for the year, or even £200 for the year. So it's important to look at your different insurances. Going back to subscriptions like TV and the rest, when you tell them, and all these insurances, if you tell them you want to leave, sometimes they give you a good deal. But if you don't bluff or tell them that, sometimes you do, and they still stand by whatever they've sent you and they don't want to reduce it, then you leave. But sometimes when you try, you might get a good deal. So that is something to look at. The next thing is about credit card. So all of us, most of us, I would say, I do have a credit card, but I am very careful how much I use my card. So there are some credit cards that when you use them, you do have a high interest rate on them, which you're paying at the end of the month, each month. So what you can do is you have to compare when your bill is getting to the end and you realize that you're paying a lot of interest on it, or even at the beginning of the purchase as well, when you finish purchasing and you realize the interest rate on that particular card is too high, you need to have at least 2 or 3 credit cards. It helps. So when you do that, what you can do is that check on the other cards and see if any of them are offering 0% interest rates for maybe a year or 18 months or whatever. So you use that one with the 0% to pay off the one that has high interest rate, and then you'll be saving yourself some money. So that's another option to look at. The fifth on my list is that you need to shop around. When you're going to buy something, shop around for best deals out there. Some shops are quite expensive and certain things are sold all over in different shops. So you need to shop around. If you're working for the NHS, they have all sorts of deals for NHS staff and all that. So, or healthcare staff, you can apply for the blue light card, which covers several departments like the police, public sector workers and things like that. If you subscribe to that, sometimes you can find some deals out there as well. The next one, number 6, is you need to pay yourself. That is very important. It's something that I wasn't doing until I met a colleague who is very much into savings, and she talked to me about it, and I thought, you know what, this is a good idea. We have all these bills, but you need to remember to pay yourself. First of all, check with your bank and find out, do they have any savings accounts out there that you can invest in or you can use to save money. There are some that are fixed account. ISAs are there. They have shares. I don't know much about these. The shares, as you know, you can make profit, you can lose your money, you can gain as well. ISAs, different types of ISAs are there, but you can speak to your bank, check what they have, and all you need to do is at the end of the month, try as much as possible. Get a standing order in place, and just get your bank at the end of the month when you do the standing order, even if it is £50, just let them take it out and keep in that account. Do not touch it. So let's say you decide to put away £50 a month. You haven't touched it. At the end of 12 months, which is 1 year, you're getting £600. And, times that 600 by, a few years, and you will see. If you try hard and you're able to put £100 away for at least 1 year, which is 12 months, that is £1,200. And if you calculate that over 5 years, it gives you about, I think, £6,000. So you can imagine if you keep doing that for 20 years or so, you can see what you will get. And once again, you can invest this one in some of those savings accounts that give you 2%, 3% interest. Actually, there are some I was searching recently, and some savings account actually can get 3%, 4%, 4.35% on whatever you put in, but they do have restrictions as to whether you can take some money out. So if you can go for those that when you're stuck, you're struggling, you'll be able to take some money out of it. But if you're taking money out of it, then the interest, you won't get much. But if you're able to discipline yourself and you don't take anything out, you get good interest. So you have those that are fixed, that you cannot take anything out, and those that are flexible and you can have limited withdrawals up to maybe 3 or 4 times in a year. So look into that, especially if you've got big money on the side there. You can make quite a good amount. A friend of mine was saying they put away about 20 something thousand and they had about 1 point something percent interest, and at the end of the period they got about 200 and something pounds. And someone who has got over 20,000 and they have got about 4% interest, you know how much they can earn? Just calculate 20,000, 4% of 20,000. So, people are making a little bit, and these are some of the ISAs that you don't pay tax on them. They are your own money, because ideally, even some of the savings, we shouldn't be paying tax on them, because the money we've put away, most of us who are workers, is money that you earn through your salary, and your salary has already been taxed, but there are some of the savings that you still get taxed, so you're being double taxed. So that's the UK system anyway. All right, so let's go on. The next one is to cut out on non-essential purchases. Some of us are culprits of that. Sometimes you go to the shop, you just want to go and buy one thing, but you go in there, this one is calling you, buy me, this one is saying, oh, I need that, something that you don't need. Sometimes we go there and you actually don't need certain things, but we get drawn, our eyes get drawn to things that we don't need, and we go and we pick them and we buy unnecessary things. So try as much as possible to cut out unnecessary purchases. That would help you actually. Another one I've got here is, if you have a credit card, make sure you give your credit card a break. You can tell yourself within the next 2 months, I don't want to touch my credit card. I don't want to make any purchases on my credit card. That will save you a lot, because all the credit cards do have interest on them. Yes, there are a few that can give you this. The 0% thing is mainly balance transfers. If you transfer your balance, then you may get that. But sometimes you get tempted to buy things that you don't really need. So give your credit card a break as well. Before the number 9 is, if you want to make any big purchases, make sure you do your research before you go for whatever you want to spend a lot of money, especially if you're buying something on credit that you would have to be paying each month. First of all, ask yourself, do I really need to make this big purchase? If yes, then you need to research, and because you're going to be tying yourself to certain things. Some people go for car finances or car on finance. You have to really check and see, am I getting the best interest rate on this thing? So it's very important. Do your research first before you make any big financial commitment or purchases. To the last one, number 10 on my list. As you know, most of our salaries, I would say from my own experience, it's more or less like hand to mouth. They pay you and you pay your bills, you pay your mortgage or your rent, you pay your gas, electricity, phone, all the road tax, insurance, mobile phone bills, what else? Water bills, council tax is another one. So you pay all these bills and you don't have much left. So you find yourself in a very tight corner, and some of us as well, or some people, I don't, most people have families back home. Sorry, I don't have both parents alive, so I don't have that responsibility, but there are some people who still have families, brothers, sisters living back home, aunties, or uncles or parents still alive, and you have that commitment to support your family back home. So you do all those things and you realize, okay, what do I have left? So another option would be for you to look into what we called side hustles. It's just something on the side. So because your salary might not be enough, you should make sure you have something on the side. What are some of those things? The easiest, if you are a nurse, I am a nurse, so I would be mentioning nurses. Then you have to take up some extra shifts at work. You can register on the hospital bank and go and work, or some care home bank, or you can do an agency, you can do an overtime in order to make a little extra money. If you know how to do all sorts of handicraft and things like that, people are opening e-commerce shops, so shopping online. People are now going online and doing all those things like the YouTube. Anyway, some people make good amount of money on YouTube when they are very serious, and so people do YouTube, share their experiences. These days people are selling things on Instagram, people are doing things on TikTok, and all over the place. These days the way forward is online, so you can find out and see, is there anything else I can do to enhance whatever salary I have? So these are some of the things. Side hustle is very important because it is difficult to survive on your normal salary. Some of us work Monday to Friday, so no enhancement like weekend extra money or Sunday extra money or night shifts Monday to Friday 9 till 5. So it's just very dry money. Yes, I've worked for 20 years, and during the beginning of my working life in the UK as a nurse, I did a few bank shifts. I do some extra shifts here and there, but it gets to a point you think, you know what, I'm growing old and I should be winding down. But still, if I find something extra occasionally, I could do. So if I want to treat myself, I'll use that. I haven't done that for a long time, but this is the time for you, especially those who are young and you've just arrived in the UK, you're not too sure. Some of you are considering buying land and building a house back home. Yes, it's a good idea. You have to be careful, people you're using back home, wherever you come from, to build houses for you, because I've heard horror stories where people go home and they don't even get to see the land or the house they are building. Others are building the houses, and the people who are building for them are stealing the money. Some of them, they go and buy all the cement, the blocks and things, and these people double the cost of what they're buying, and they're deceiving you. So it's better, I think personally, save your money. If you want to build in your home country, good, do it, but do it slowly at your own pace. When you go there on leave, you spend and do buy some of the things yourself. Make sure you see what is happening before you leave. Or just buy a property here in the UK. If you decide at the end of the day you want to go home, sell your property, take the money, go and buy a property back home, and cut out all the land dispute, the land problems. And anyway, this is my personal opinion. I'm sure you know what is best for you, but my main aim today is to, help by putting these little steps that you can take to help you save some money. Anyway, I hope this video has been helpful. Take care of yourselves, and I shall see you again soon. Bye bye.